a guidebook for life. Why was the Book of Enoch removed from the Bible?
A rediscovery of the kind of technologies that were used by a lost civilization.
The Book of Enoch is truly captivating, packed with incredible tales of celestial beings, fallen angels, and deep cosmic secrets. But recently, the discovery of newly uncovered fragments has sparked fresh curiosity among scholars and the public alike. On a recent episode of his podcast, Joe Rogan discussed how this rediscovered text contains hidden knowledge that was never meant to be revealed. Could these ancient writings reshape everything we thought we knew about history, religion, and humanity's role in the universe? Let's explore the mystery. Who exactly is Enoch? Enoch stands out as a remarkable figure mentioned in the Hebrew Bible, specifically in Genesis 5:18-24, where he is described as living for 365 years and walking with God. This phrase hints at an unusually deep connection with the divine, something that makes him vastly different from others in early biblical accounts. While most people reach the end of their lives and pass away, Enoch's story takes an unexpected turn. He was taken up by God without ever experiencing death. This unusual fate has intrigued believers and scholars across different faith traditions for centuries. Despite his brief mention in the book of Genesis, those few lines raise significant questions. Was Enoch set apart for a higher purpose? Could he have played a far greater role in ancient history than traditional biblical texts suggest? Because the Hebrew Bible provides so little information about him, those eager to understand more have turned to extra-biblical and apocryphal texts for additional insight. While scholars debate the exact timeline of his life, tradition places Enoch several generations after Adam and about 3 generations before Noah. As the great-grandfather of Noah, Enoch belongs to an age before the Great Flood, a time filled with legendary figures, many of whom lived extraordinarily long lives and experienced events that are only briefly hinted at in Scripture. This has driven countless researchers to seek out lost or hidden writings about Enoch, stories that exist outside of the official Hebrew Bible, but may hold key pieces of a much larger puzzle. What stands out most in these accounts is that Enoch's life did not end in an ordinary death. He was directly taken into heaven. Many interpret this as him being transported to a higher plane or even transformed into a celestial being. That idea sparks the imagination, painting a picture of a man who moved between the physical world and the divine, almost like a living bridge between human existence and a deeper cosmic truth. Though the biblical text offers only a brief mention, these few verses have fueled countless traditions and speculations, some of which became central themes in the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch, also known as First Enoch, is one of the most well-known apocryphal texts connected to early Judaism. When we call it apocryphal, we mean that it was not officially included in most Jewish or Christian Bibles. Texts like this fall into the category of pseudepigrapha, meaning they were likely written under the name of a well-known figure, Enoch in this case, rather than by the historical person himself. Scholars widely agree that while the book is attributed to Enoch, it was actually composed by multiple authors over an extended period, possibly from the 3rd century BCE to the 1st century CE. But why was the Book of Enoch excluded from most biblical canons? Throughout history, Jewish and Christian leaders debated which writings held the necessary spiritual authority to be considered sacred scripture. The Book of Enoch, with its elaborate tales of angels, hidden cosmic knowledge, and apocalyptic visions, may have been seen as too speculative or mystical for some communities. However, it holds a special place in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, where it remains part of the official biblical canon. This makes Ethiopian Christianity unique, as it preserved the book in the Ge'ez language, providing modern scholars with a crucial window into its contents. Enoch's legendary ascension to heaven is only the starting point of the book's sweeping narrative. What follows expands the brief Genesis passage into entire chapters filled with celestial journeys, prophetic warnings, and revelations about angelic beings, often referred to as the Watchers. The text weaves together a story that is both mystical and deeply moral. In some passages, Enoch embarks on guided tours of heavenly realms, uncovering divine mysteries, while in others, he witnesses the downfall of the Watchers, who abandoned their place in the heavens. Researchers who explore the Book of Enoch remark that it overlaps with other Jewish traditions from what is sometimes called the Second Temple period, the centuries leading up to the 17th century destruction of the Second Temple in 70 CE. That was a time of vibrant religious writing, when apocalyptic visions, angelic hierarchies, and end-time speculation were all popular among certain Jewish groups. One reason the Book of Enoch fascinates so many people is its variety of themes. First up are Enoch's revelations on creation and cosmology. He has shown how the universe is laid out, how the sun and moon trace their paths, and how seasons, stars, and even weather phenomena align with spiritual dimensions. These cosmic tours are portrayed almost as real journeys, with Enoch guided by angels who reveal secret workings behind everything we see in nature. Another important element is Enoch's extended travels. He is taken to different heavens, each revealing something about angelic orders and the nature of the spiritual world. He also ventures under the earth and witnesses the realm of the dead, often referred to as Sheol. These tours underscore a broader point. The physical world is closely linked to the spiritual or heavenly realm. In this apocryphal text, there isn't a strict wall separating earthly life from cosmic or angelic matters. The Watchers' rebellion is perhaps the most dramatic storyline. According to the Book of Enoch, a group of angels were originally assigned to oversee and guide humanity. Instead, they descended to earth and broke divine boundaries. They took human wives and fathered giant offspring known as the Nephilim. They also taught people secrets and skills that were not meant to be shared at that time, leading to great problems. All of this sets the stage for a divine judgment that looms over the Watchers, their giant descendants, and the world they corrupted. The Watchers, as described in the Book of Enoch, were originally sent to watch over humanity. In some translations of Genesis, they are called the Sons of God, sparking centuries of debate among theologians about whether they were actual divine beings, angels, powerful rulers, or something else entirely. The Enochic tradition strongly supports the idea that they were angels. Their role was to observe humanity, offer guidance, and lead people toward righteousness. At first, the Watchers fulfilled their mission faithfully, acting as guardians of civilization and providing limited assistance. But over time, they became captivated by human women, allowing their desires to lead them astray. This moment marks a dramatic shift, setting off a chain of events with serious consequences for both the Watchers and humanity. Originally, they were like overseers, possessing knowledge of justice, technology, the arts, and even nature's hidden secrets. Wisdom meant to help humans progress under divine approval. However, instead of following their sacred duty, they took that wisdom and used it in ways that were forbidden. Their decision to cross that boundary resulted in humanity gaining knowledge of warfare, enchantments, and other practices that eventually led to chaos. This transformation from Watchers to rebels is at the heart of Enoch's narrative. Their downfall is vividly detailed, with a key figure, Shem-Yaza, sometimes spelled Shaza, leading the rebellion alongside another Watcher named Azazel in certain versions. Together, they made a pact to descend to Earth, have relations with mortal women, and share forbidden knowledge. According to legend, this union led to the birth of the Nephilim, giant, powerful beings who were part angel, part human. Through Enoch's revelations, we learn that the Watchers were fully aware they were defying divine law, yet they still went through with their plan. They swore an oath together, ensuring that none of them could back out or shift blame onto others. Their interference not only resulted in the birth of monstrous giants, but also introduced advanced knowledge at a time when humanity wasn't ready for it. The Book of Enoch describes how these fallen angels taught people the secrets of weapon making, seductive cosmetics, occult magic and astrology, ways to manipulate events beyond their natural order. The consequences of their rebellion were catastrophic. The Nephilim unleashed destruction, while corruption, violence, and arrogance spread across the land. Eventually, a great flood was sent to cleanse the earth, echoing the story of Noah. As punishment, the rebellious Watchers were condemned to imprisonment and eternal torment in the spiritual realm. Enoch himself was chosen as a messenger, sent to warn them that their pleas for forgiveness would be ignored. Their fate serves as a chilling reminder. When a being defies its divine purpose at such a scale, there may be no way back. The Nephilim, giants and legendary warriors of old, were the offspring of the Watchers and mortal women. The term is sometimes translated as giants, or literally the fallen ones. While biblical texts like Genesis 6:4 mention them briefly and vaguely, the Book of Enoch explores their supernatural nature in more depth. These beings were described as massive, physically powerful, and often violent. They disrupted the world, dominating people and introducing dangerous knowledge that upset the natural balance of earthly life. In some translations, they weren't just giants, but also warriors of great renown, figures who inspired both awe and terror. Their sheer size and aggressive nature made them a threat to communities, as they consumed vast resources, intimidated ordinary people, and acted like tyrannical overlords. According to these ancient stories, the Nephilim played a major role in the events leading up to the Great Flood. Their unchecked power and the widespread corruption they helped spread made a divine reset necessary. But what happened to them afterward? Different traditions offer different answers. Some say they were completely wiped out, while others suggest that traces of their bloodline persisted in later generations. The biblical figure Goliath, for example, is often linked to this idea. He was said to stand over 6 feet tall, possibly much more depending on ancient measurements. Whether one views the Nephilim as literal beings or mythological symbols, they represent a time when divine or supernatural forces supposedly walked among humanity in dramatic ways. Gilgamesh and the Nephilim connection. When discussing possible giant parallels, one figure that often comes up is Gilgamesh. He is the central character in the Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the world's oldest known literary works, dating back to around 2100 to 2000 BCE. Originally from Sumerian traditions and later preserved in Babylonian and Assyrian texts, Gilgamesh was a powerful king of Uruk, part human, part divine. While not always explicitly described as a giant, some versions and later myths portray him as having immense size and strength. He was said to be 2/3 god and 1/3 man, making him an almost unbeatable warrior while still being bound by the limitations of mortality. His legend includes stories of building massive city walls, battling fearsome creatures, and embarking on an epic quest for immortality. One reason scholars and enthusiasts compare Gilgamesh to the Nephilim is their shared theme of divine-human hybrids. Like the Nephilim, Gilgamesh had a partial divine lineage, making him stronger and more powerful than ordinary humans. His adventures also overlap with biblical and Enochic traditions. The Epic of Gilgamesh contains a flood narrative remarkably similar to Noah's story, featuring a hero named Utnapishtim, who survives a cataclysmic deluge. This has led to long-standing debates about whether the biblical and Mesopotamian flood stories influenced each other. Beyond just the flood, Gilgamesh's journey explores themes of life, death, and the boundaries between mortals and the divine, echoing the struggles of the Watchers, who crossed forbidden lines and suffered the consequences. Gilgamesh ultimately fails in his quest for immortality and returns home wiser but humbled, realizing that even the greatest heroes cannot escape death. His story serves as a reflection on human limitations, much like the fate of the Watchers and their Nephilim offspring, who challenged divine order and paid the ultimate price. The reported 2003 discovery of Gilgamesh's tomb set off a wave of speculation and excitement in the world of ancient mysteries. A German-led archaeological team announced they had used ground-penetrating radar near the ancient city of Uruk, modern-day Iraq, and found structures that might be linked to the legendary king. Headlines buzzed with claims that they had potentially located his tomb. For those fascinated by ancient history, this raised a thrilling possibility. Was Gilgamesh not just a mythical figure, but an actual historical ruler? Adding to the intrigue, rumors quickly spread that the site contained signs of a giant skeleton or unusual relics that seemed to echo the old legends. However, these claims became entangled with real-world events. The Iraq War erupted that same year, presumably disrupting or even halting the excavations. As the situation on the ground became more chaotic, conspiracy theories flourished. Some speculated that US forces or other entities had swiftly cordoned off the site, possibly seizing artifacts of immense significance. Theories ranged from the recovery of ancient alien technology to the extraction of genetic material from a possibly divine or hybrid being, perhaps even Gilgamesh himself. Despite the sensational stories, concrete evidence remains elusive. While scattered press reports confirm that researchers found promising structures, no widely accepted academic documentation exists proving the discovery of a tomb, let alone a giant skeleton or relics of supernatural significance. Skeptics argue that stories of a 17-foot skeleton are exaggerated or fabricated, noting that mainstream archaeology rarely, if ever, unearths true giant remains outside of known hoaxes or misinterpretations. Even so, the legend of Gilgamesh continues to captivate the imagination. The region has long held cultural memories of a mighty king of Uruk who, even if not literally a demigod giant, may have been a real historical figure. His story was immortalized in the Epic of Gilgamesh, blending history, mythology, and spiritual themes. Whether or not his remains, or those of any other ancient hybrid beings, will ever be found, the connections between Gilgamesh, the Nephilim, and other legendary figures fuel ongoing debate. From the Watcher's children in the Book of Enoch, to demigods in Greek myths, to heroic kings of Mesopotamian lore, the idea of divine human hybrids spans cultures and time periods. While history and myth often blur together, the fascination with giants of old remains as strong as ever. The second and third books of Enoch, according to various scholars, provide a captivating glimpse into ancient mysticism. The second book of Enoch, also known as 2 Enoch, Slavonic Enoch, or the Secrets of Enoch, takes readers on an extraordinary journey through multiple heavenly realms. Unlike the first book of Enoch, which was primarily preserved in Ethiopic manuscripts, 2 Enoch has survived in Slavonic and is believed to have been composed sometime between the 1st and 10th centuries CE. While it builds upon core Enochic themes, it also introduces fresh insights into the structure of the cosmos, divine hierarchies, and the intricate relationship between earth and heaven. One of the central themes in 2 Enoch is Enoch's ascent through various levels of the cosmos. At each stage, he encounters angels who reveal the purpose and function of their respective realms. Some of these angels are watchers facing punishment, while others are archangels assigned with maintaining cosmic balance. These celestial beings oversee everything from the movement of the sun, moon, and stars to the moral duties of angels who record human actions. A recurring message in the text is the idea of a meticulously ordered universe governed by unchanging spiritual laws. Any form of rebellion or disobedience among the angels disrupts this divine order, resulting in judgment and correction. At the heart of 2 Enoch's narrative is Enoch's role as a scribe and witness. He is shown the hidden workings of creation, celestial mechanics, calendar systems, and prophetic revelations about the final judgment. The text emphasizes how human actions can either align with or disrupt divine order. Some angels, identified as watchers or Grigori Yeshu, are depicted as having strayed from their purpose, causing a ripple effect that impacts the human world. Enoch's perspective is both privileged, allowing him to witness the vast workings of heaven, and deeply cautionary, as he is tasked with warning humanity about the consequences of their choices. Unlike 1 Enoch, which explores the fall of the Watchers in great detail, 2 Enoch focuses more on Enoch's transformation and the moral lessons drawn from his celestial journey. Some versions of the text expand upon the punishments angels endure and the spiritual logic behind divine judgment. The overarching message is clear. The cosmos is vast and layered, but no being, angelic or human, can escape the all-encompassing justice of the Creator. Shifting to the 3rd Book of Enoch, also known as 3 Enoch, we enter a new dimension of Jewish mysticism. Although attributed to Rabbi Ishmael, scholars generally date its composition between the 5th and 8th centuries CE, particularly in regions influenced by early Merkabah mysticism. Its connection to Enoch emerges through the claim that Enoch underwent a radical transformation, ascending to become a powerful angelic figure known as Metatron. The text portrays Enoch as being elevated above nearly all other angels, receiving grand titles that liken him to a divine prime minister or a lesser king within the heavenly court. Metatron is a profoundly significant figure in Jewish mystical traditions. In 3 Enoch's narrative, he serves as a celestial scribe, seated on a unique throne, carrying out divine tasks essential to maintaining cosmic order. This idea stretches theological boundaries. How can a human be exalted to such a lofty status? And what role does Enoch Metatron play as a mediator between realms? Many traditional scholars have grappled with this concept. Some view Metatron's transformation as dangerously close to polytheism, while others interpret it as a profound symbol of spiritual ascension, the ultimate evolution of a righteous human into a divine being. Rabbi Ishmael, acting as the narrator of the text, claims to have vivid, visionary encounters with Metatron. He is taken to celestial realms, where he meets angels of different ranks and is shown profound, hidden mysteries. In one striking passage, Metatron himself reveals that he was once Enoch, a devout human who was taken into heaven and transformed into an angelic prince of the divine presence. These accounts align with a Jewish mystical tradition centered on spiritual ascents, filled with awe-inspiring descriptions of thrones, fiery angels, and the deeper structure of divine authority. Though 3 Enoch was never included in any official biblical canon, it gained significant influence in Jewish esoteric thought. Later Kabbalistic traditions would portray Metatron as a mighty angel, standing at the threshold between humanity and God. His symbolism also found its way into Christian and esoteric teachings, often serving as a bridge between the earthly and the celestial. Beyond 3 Enoch, references to Metatron appear in various Talmudic and Kabbalistic texts, though they depict him in different ways, sometimes as the highest angel, other times merely as a heavenly scribe. The Talmudic discussions of Metatron can be cryptic, yet they underscore his deep significance to Jewish mystics who sought to understand how divine wisdom flows from God to angels and ultimately to humanity. His transformation from Enoch into a celestial being also resonates with broader Kabbalistic ideas, where layers of divine energy interact with souls, angels, and the cosmic order. The notion of a righteous person ascending beyond human limitations appears in many spiritual traditions. But Enoch's journey stands out because it has scriptural echoes, such as Genesis 5:24, which hints at his mysterious departure, and the expanded narratives found in apocryphal and pseudepigraphal texts. Additionally, Western esoteric traditions, including some branches of Freemasonry and Rosicrucianism, have occasionally referenced Enoch or Metatron as guardians of hidden knowledge. While these interpretations are often symbolic rather than doctrinal, they demonstrate how Enochic themes have reached far beyond mainstream religious circles. The rich narratives of 3 Enoch and the evolving concept of Metatron highlight the creative ways in which people have sought to merge cosmic speculation, angelology, and moral wisdom into a unified and inspiring framework. When we examine myths from various cultures, the Watchers and Nephilim are not the only figures depicted as giants. Similar stories appear across the world, from the Greek Titans and Norse Jotun to legends in Celtic, Hindu, and Native American traditions. In Hesiod's theogony, the Titans are ancient deities who battle the Olympians for control of the cosmos. In Norse mythology, the Jotun are powerful primordial beings, often clashing with the gods of Asgard. Many scholars see parallels between these traditions and the Watchers, towering, powerful entities who exist between the divine and human realms, sometimes imparting knowledge to mortals, whether as a gift or a dangerous temptation. Archaeological debates over giant skeletons have surfaced in different parts of the Middle East, Africa, and the Americas. From time to time, stories of legendary finds or alleged skeletal discoveries make headlines. While mainstream scholars often dismiss these as misinterpretations or exaggerations, the tales refuse to fade away. For researchers fascinated by the Watchers, the widespread presence of giant myths across cultures hints that there could be some truth buried beneath the legends. The fall of the Watchers, the Nephilim's destructive influence, and the eventual divine flood fit within a broader apocalyptic narrative found in Jewish and Christian writings from the Second Temple period. Many ancient communities were drawn to the idea of rebellious angels and cosmic battles shaping the world around them. The Watcher's story in 1 Enoch serves as a striking example of how supernatural events might be intertwined with real history. In Islamic tradition, Enoch is sometimes identified with Idris, a prophet believed to have ascended to heaven. Though his story doesn't align exactly with the Watchers, elements of angelic rebellion and secret knowledge occasionally appear in hadith and medieval Muslim lore. Across Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, there has always been a tension between officially recognized scriptures and more speculative writings. The Watcher's tale exists in that in-between space, widely influential, yet not always officially accepted as doctrine. Certain Christian groups have also embraced the Watchers and Nephilim narratives as part of end times prophecy. They draw comparisons between the corruption of ancient times and a future where powerful forces might lead humanity astray. The debate continues. Are these giant stories literal history, symbolic myths, or a mix of both? With technological advancements like satellite imagery, ground-penetrating radar, and advanced DNA testing, some believe we are on the verge of uncovering whether these ancient accounts were based on real events. If the Watchers truly fathered giant offspring, could we detect unusual genetic markers in specific populations? So far, mainstream science has not identified any Nephilim-related DNA. Skeptics argue that Watchers' Nephilim claims often stem from hoaxes, misidentifications, or exaggerated folklore. However, believers counter that real evidence could have been lost, hidden, or even suppressed. They point to massive ancient sites, such as the megalithic structures in Peru, Mesopotamia, and Turkey, as possible remnants of a lost advanced knowledge. Could the Watchers have passed down that wisdom? Could hidden skeletons in remote tombs finally confirm it all? This ongoing clash between mainstream archaeology and fringe Nephilim theories keeps the discussion alive. The Watchers remain a powerful symbol of the connection between heaven and earth, embodying both cosmic drama and a deeper mystery. Could we be missing an entire chapter of our own history? Thanks for watching another episode. While you're still here, make sure to click the video on your screen for more quality content.